Welcome to week 2 of our weekly meal prep series. As you guys know, every Thursday through the month of January, I am sharing brand new meal prep ideas to set you up for success all week long. Now, the concept behind this is really simple. The idea is you do all of your cooking on Sunday and then you have fresh, nutritious food ready until the weekend. Now, what I love most about this week's menu is that it's entirely vegan. The star of this week's show is one of my favorite foods, homemade falafel. Now, if you're not familiar with falafel, you are in for a treat. Falafels are these delicious little balls of chickpea goodness. They're amazing when served in pita or over a salad. They're super versatile and definitely flavorful. You won't even miss the meat, I promise. So for these homemade falafel, I am using my food processor. Now, if you don't have a food processor, don't sweat it. You can totally do this with a little bit of elbow grease and a potato masher. That will work just as well. So into my food processor, I am adding a whole heaping helping of chickpeas. Now I'm using canned chickpeas, which I just rinsed and drained. Now chickpeas are quite bland on their own, so it's really important to start building flavor. And we're gonna do that by adding some minced red onion, some minced garlic. I've got some fresh parsley, some fresh cilantro, and to that I'm going to add some ground cumin, some ground coriander seeds, and a whole lot of salt and pepper. Once it's all in the food processor, you're going to start to pulse this. Now, you don't want to just blend it all up because basically what you'll end up with is hummus. So once you've reached this beautiful fine crumb stage, it's time to roll our falafels. Now it's important to remove the blade from your food processor before you do this. Safety first in the kitchen. All you want to do is take a scoop of the mixture, roll it between your hands, and then place it on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Now, I should tell you, traditionally falafels are deep fried, but I'm trying to keep these on the lighter side, so I'm going to bake them instead. I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and all I'm going to do is drizzle a little bit of olive oil on each of the balls. Into the oven, they're going to go for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we're going to flip them and cook them for an additional 20 minutes. Once they're ready, they'll be golden brown and ready to eat. Like I said, they are delicious in pitas, over salads, or you can eat them just on their own. The greatest part is they'll last in the refrigerator for 4 or 5 days, or you can freeze them for up to 6 months. While our falafel is baking, we're gonna get started on our quinoa. In a small saucepan, I am mixing 1 part quinoa to 2 parts vegetable stock. I'm gonna bring this to a boil, and once it's reached a boil, I'm gonna turn the heat down to low, and then I'm gonna cook it for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm gonna turn my heat off entirely and let it sit for another 5 minutes. And voila, you have some nutritious quinoa that you can use all week long. Now, you can either eat it all on its own, or you can use it in delicious recipes like the ones I have here. Next up will be our roasted vegetables. Now, I love doing this because you can eat them hot from the oven, cold as a salad. You can cut them all up and throw them in frittatas, scrambled eggs, or even over pasta. They are super versatile and great throughout the week. All I'm gonna do is chop up some bell peppers. To that, I'm gonna add some chopped zucchini and some red onion. I'm gonna drizzle this with some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and it's really as simple as that. I'm gonna put it on a baking tray and into the oven it goes until it's all broken down, between 30 and 40 minutes. Basically, if you put this in with your falafel, they'll be ready at the very same time. How sweet is that? Now that we've got all our hot foods cooked, we are gonna get started on our salad for the week. This is a super simple recipe that I actually love because it gets better the longer it sits. All we're gonna do is combine some diced tomatoes, some diced cucumbers, a little bit of red onion, and a whole lot of parsley in a bowl. To that, I'm gonna drizzle in some olive oil, some fresh lemon juice, and finally some salt and pepper. We're gonna mix this up, and my gosh, this stuff is amazing for lunch, for dinner, with breakfast, any time of day. Next up, I'm just gonna prepare my raw veggies. I'm keeping it super simple this week with some snap peas that I've just washed, and then I've got some cauliflower and some broccoli florets. All 3 of these are amazing when dipped in hummus. How delicious. And of course, it's always great to have fresh fruit on hand. This week, I've got some chopped strawberries and some beautiful kiwi. And for the final step in our vegan meal prep, we are tackling breakfast. For me, breakfast is actually the most challenging meal of the day, so it's great to get a lot of the prep out of the way on Sunday. This week, we're going to be doing overnight oatmeal, and what I like to do is just prep all of the dry ingredients on Sunday, and then every night before I go to bed, I add my almond milk, shake up the jar, put it in the fridge, and I have breakfast ready to eat the next morning. So in each jar, you're gonna combine some rolled oats with some chia seeds, a spoonful of brown sugar, some cranberries, some pecans, and a little bit of cinnamon. You can mix these up really, really well, and then all you'll need to do is add the almond milk before you go to bed at night, and by morning, you will have breakfast ready to eat. I really hope you found this week's meal prep menu helpful and that you'll give it a try in your very own kitchen. Remember that all of the shopping lists and the recipes are listed in the description box below. Just click the Show More button to reveal them all. You could also find them on thedomesticgeek.com. And remember, we are still in the middle of our 30 days of smoothies. So all you need to do is hop over to Instagram and follow me at thedomesticgeek1. I am posting a brand new smoothie video every single day of January. How great is that? I hope you'll give them a try, and if you do, be sure to tweet or Instagram me a photo because you know I love seeing what you're whipping up in your very own kitchens. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to The Domestic Geek because there's lots more weekly meal prep where this came from.